Back at Watkins Glen International Raceway NASCAR Nationwide Series action, we are under caution, full course caution for the first time today. The good news is under caution, the leaders were able to come on the pit road. The bad news is that some of the guys got called for speeding on the exit of pit road. And drivers like Robbie Gordon, Boris Said, Stephen Wallace, Antonio Perez, and Kenny Hendrick will have to start at the back of the pack. Our leader is one of the drivers, one of the 6 that did not come in this time. I should say one of the 5 that didn't come in. That is Kyle Busch. Up front, he hasn't pitted yet. Jason Leffler, Max Pappas, Stan Silva yet to be on pit road. And Sam Hornish, who made that strategy pit stop you heard him talking about on lap number 6, is being shown in 5th position. Shannon?
Yeah, Doc told you how Denny Hamlin did not have that booty on his foot. I want to show you exactly what the team did. They took the booty, they put some Scotch tape inside the booty. So they just took this black Scotch tape, put it all around inside. They handed it to Denny through the window so then he could just stick it on the bottom of his foot. So a little bit of a job on the booty for Denny Hamlin.
Little booty repair. And DJ, I know you're one of the drivers that you've burned your foot or your heel before sometimes in road racing and cars, and when you do that it takes forever to heal.
Yeah, it really does. So it's good that they could get something in there, but that's still not the easiest thing to do, get that on while you're in the race car, because you don't have a lot of room in there. So it'd be interesting to see if he got that on.
A difference in this race from a year ago, Rusty Wallace, is that these guys have tapered spacers on these cars, on the engines, which drops about 80 horsepower from what they had last year. How does it impact their ability to drive a very fast road course like this one?
Well, Doc, that's one thing I'm noticing right now. It looks to me like it's much harder to pass for these guys. And we always know that the braking zones, getting down into turn 1, getting into the inner loop, getting into turn 10 is very important. But this time it looks like braking is going to be the most important ever for these guys because, you know, they just can't seem to accelerate up on the bumper, these guys, with this less horsepower. So this is a very fast course, faster than any road course we run, and the cars are all wound up. Can't seem to pass that easy.
Yeah, absolutely, Rusty. I was speaking with Max Pappas yesterday, and we talked at length, and he said this is the fastest road course with this heavy a race car he's ever driven on. He says you go into these corners because of that spacer. You're carrying so much speed out of these straightaways and some of these hairpin turns. It's almost like you're going to run completely off the racetrack before you get it gathered back up.
One has to wonder, guys, if the lack of horsepower would actually play in the favor of the accomplished road racers because they're accustomed to keeping the momentum up and being very smooth on these turns, whereas some of the oval track guys tend to manhandle the cars. Here's the 33 of Kevin Harvick back behind the 88. Remember, he wasn't very happy with Brad Keselowski in the early laps when they swapped a couple of spots. We'll keep an eye on these guys here in the pack. That's 11th and 12th, by the way.
These leaders that are leading the race now, they probably were not inside their fuel window. That's why they stayed out. This could really hurt them down the road if they're not able to make it on the. They obviously have to make 2 stops.
Kyle Busch is unbeaten in 2008 on road courses. Won at Mexico in nationwide action. Won at Infineon in the Cup car. Can he make it 3 in a row? He will lead him down to the green flag here on lap number 14. Oh, looks like the land rush. They're 5 and 6 wide and heavy contact there. The 27 cars.
Brad Coleman's got his car torn up. Looks like Mike Bliss has got a quarter panel off. There's, oh my goodness, Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin gets it refired, headed in the right direction.
Doesn't look like Hamlin's got any damage, but he did come to a stop over there.
Back behind the 24 car, Brian Semo. There's the leader, Kyle Busch, Jason Leffler, Max Pappas, 1, 2, 3.
Just talking about how hard it is to pass on this racetrack, and I think that's why you see these restarts get so crazy, is because everybody's trying to get those positions on the start. The caution is out for debris.
Got to believe there's quite a bit of debris on the front straightaway where that contact took place on the restart.
The gearing in these transmissions and the rear ends they have to run now really makes this difficult too, because you're trying to get a run. You see things jam up there. We've got Mike Bliss and
whoa, another car tore up.
Partick Carpentier, like got a lot of damage there.
Yeah, that was Coleman and Carpentier that got together. The 27 and the 9. Everyone's fanning out, trying to get out of the way. Oh my gosh!
Look at the air he catches there, man.
Brad Coleman up on the back of the right rear quarter panel of Partick Carpentier.
I just thought there was incidental contact. That's pretty big right there.
And I was wondering about all of those guys fanning out, because still, obviously, this is no different than our other racing. You can't pass before you get to the start-finish line. You actually you cannot pass to the right here until you pass the start-finish line. But I see NASCAR was allowing these guys to miss an accident.
Yeah, they may need a tow truck in a box to try to get that one pulled out. Onboard camera here from
right side on the very bottom. Down on the bottom. You're spinning everywhere. Checking up down there. Still on your right. Still on your right. One more. Clear behind the 6.
The spotters have a real job in trying to get these guys down into turn 1 on a restart, because you have people you think that aren't going to dive off down in there, and the next thing you know, you got somebody diving down there, a car that you're not expecting, and you've already told your driver that everything's going to be clear to the right then. So they have to really pay attention as we see them trying to make some change or do a lot of work here. I don't know that they can fix this end.
They got some damage here. They're going to have to maybe even find a quarter panel, seat post pillar. Hey, Jamie, what do they got going down there?
Well, they have severe damage, but I just want to tell you guys a quick story. They told me he has 4 spotters today. He has his normal spotter, but the other 3 spotters, guys, are the Cup crew chiefs. They're all throughout this track, and so somebody failed in their job, and I wish Ray Evernham was here with us to tell us what exactly happened.
I'm not sure a spotter could have helped him here in this situation. He was just a victim of this.
Yeah, jumbling up on the restart. And boy, Andy, how do you fix it? I mean, where do you start? I mean, you got to have part of the glass, got to have a spoiler to be able to get the car to have some kind of downforce. There's what's left of the
You go back
front
to
end.
you go to the last place that's not bent and start working from there. And these guys are trying to make pieces here with this bare bond to try to fabricate a fender or something out of this. And you can see this is going to be easier to fix the fender than it's going to be to fix that quarter panel on the Carpentier car.
Yeah, and we talked about any of these restarts, how difficult it is. You because of the gearing and the lack of horsepower, you're trying to do everything that you can to get going. Probably somebody missed a shift up in there, which is easy to do, and then that just puts everybody in a bad position because they're hammered down trying to go.
Both these drivers were contenders. Carpentier finished 2nd at Montreal last week, and Brad Coleman finished 5th at Watkins Glen a year ago. Both of them, though, heavily damaged here under caution.
A little bit of a halting start to today's NASCAR Nationwide Series race at Watkins Glen, already under the second caution of the race. And this one kind of, well, how should I politely say this? A series of events that all led to a big mess. Remember how earlier in the race, Kevin Harvick came on his radio and said, if I get to that 88 car, I'm going to dump him? Well, that 88 being Brad Keselowski had Kevin Harvick lined up right behind him for this most recent restart.
And I'll tell you what, Keselowski's looking in his mirror, looking at Harvick, and takes off. He's glancing back up in there and just flat misjudges getting down into turn 1. And watch what happens here. He sails it down in it, just drives right in the back of the 32 car of Denny Hamlin.
Let's listen to Keselowski's radio.
Man, I didn't mean to do that. I was looking at the 33 on my mirror. Sorry, I'm sorry. I really screwed up. Or he's still rolling, man. He's still rolling. He just kept rolling there. You're good.
You know what, guys? That is the classic veteran versus rookie move. Kevin made his statement earlier. Got in Brad Keselowski. Says Kevin Harvick's not a dirty race car driver. He's an aggressive driver. He's not going to dump Brad Keselowski. But Brad surely was trying to get away from him and caused the caution.
So that spun Denny Hamlin out of 10th spot. He's way back in 25th now. Keselowski was just on pit road, and then that other mess happened on the restart too, Doc. We've had a little bit of slow going here.
Alan, got to believe Kevin Harvick got a little chuckle out of that. Said he wanted to get in the helmet of the 88 and had him looking at him in the mirror, and he ends up making a mistake. So tough break. But up front, these guys here, the front 3 cars, have yet to come on the pit road. Kyle Busch, Jason Leffler, Max Pappas, our in-race reporter there in that 64 car.